Access Radio, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
Access Radio, WIAX, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
Doing? Good to be back, man. How you feeling?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, dude. Thank you all, man. We missed y'all, man. Sorry about that.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yes.
Hope everybody had a good Christmas, New Year's.
Absolutely. And I just want to give first off, to the left of me, we got the one and only Big Vern in the house.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. On the boards, we always have the voice, a.k.a. Big Al. And I am A.PODMAN. Thank you for tuning in. We're here. Sorry for the delay. Sorry it's been so long, but we back, baby.
Yeah.
So, how you been, man? It's
good,
been a while, man. You know, life be lifing.
You know it.
Taking its toll. You know
That's
what I
it.
mean? You know, you keeping your head on the swivel.
That's it. I ain't got no choice but to, man.
That's it, man. I definitely want to give a nice shout out to the Michigan college football team, man. They did that thing. They won that chip. You know, that's a good look. But you know, it's looking like it's a day-to-day process, man. How do you what do you think about the presidency in this year coming up as the time comes forward? You know, I know it's not until late this year, you know, the whole situation takes place, but talk about it, because we got this world changing in so many different ways, man. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, Biden's approval rating is at a 33%. That's the lowest approval rate, I think they said like 15 years, something like that. Yeah, 15 years.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, look at the condition of America since he's took office. It's been turned upside down. You know, I mean, America's in shambles right now, so we're in threat, global war, and you know, the migrant issue, and you know, did you see that? I think I shared it with you, the video of the school in Brooklyn where they pushed the students out so the migrants could stay.
No, I didn't recall that. I must not watch it.
Yeah,
So,
bro.
what do you mean they pushed the students out?
They moved the students out the school. They not moved them out, kicked them out, pretty much. Essentially,
So they had
kicked
to find-
them out
they had to
to
find-
accommodate the migrants.
So they had to find another place to go to school?
Yeah,
like another
or
place
they
for
would
education?
It was insane. I don't even know how because you know a lot of those, you know, there's a public schools, so if they don't have access, you know, to get to another school, or just, you know, if they have to spend money, extra time on transportation.
Good morning, Mom.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning, family. Good morning. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, brother. To then bring in migrants, to accommodate migrants. They filled up the lunchroom with migrants, the classrooms with migrants, the auditorium, I believe, with migrants.
All right, you know what's crazy is because I was just thinking about this yesterday, and I was going to ask you, what do you think about possibly some churches taking in migrants? Now, I know they probably aren't going to be so gun-ho about it, but some of these churches, especially mega churches and stuff like that, like to mess with people with children's education, like and move
this
them
whole
out.
migrant issue is ridiculous to begin with.
Yeah, I think they had 225,000 for the across the border.
They're coming in. It's about
this month, for last month, December.
Yeah, alone.
So
yeah, and when you look at
peace, Ty.
Peace, family.
Appreciate you, man. Happy New Year, Ty.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So I mean, I don't see a explanation answer that we could provide in regards to this at this moment.
What, for the migrant issue?
Yeah.
You got to stop them from coming in. You got to stop.
Well, I'm just
and you got to send them back, bro. You know how many violent criminals is coming through though? That's passing right through.
You mean deport them?
They would have to, yeah.
Because I was about to say, even if let's say you stop taking them in, all right, but even if right now we still have no solution for the ones that are here.
After what?
I said right now we have no solution for the ones that are
No, we
here.
don't. We don't.
So
now I'm not saying people can't, come into the States, but there has to be some kind of scrutiny.
Not for free.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't do that in no first world nation, only America. So that's just one of the reasons why. I mentioned that. It's just one of the reasons why Biden's presidency approval rating is so low, because it's just atrocious, man. The stuff it's that he's been pushing for. Obviously, our stands when it comes to the indoctrination of children, when it comes to the gender equality nonsense and things like that they're trying to force on our kids.
To where I remember in the past you said that they're going to be able to make more decisions for themselves as opposed to their own parents.
In California, your child could be taken away from you if your child once identifies as the opposite sex and the parent doesn't support it. It should be removed from your care.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Come on, but this is all happening under Biden.
Well, this is the country that he
under Biden.
No, listen. He is under the control of people that support and fund what they want to be pushed. We all know that.
That's my whole point. That it happens under his presidency, though.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. He was the one that pushed for it and implemented, legislation supporting that nonsense. So,
absolutely.
That's just one of the many things of why Biden's approval rating is so low. The war in Israel, in Gaza, what he's doing, how much money he's giving away to the Ukraine. I mean, he left all those weapons out there in the Middle East. People don't remember that. He just got up and just left, abdicated all responsibility when it came to all those weapons that he just left. Millions of ammo and rounds too, not just a little bit, bro. He left them a whole full artillery, brand new.
True indeed. So if you had to make a prediction, who would you see as of right now? I guess the candidates. Who do you see being the next president?
Well, I definitely don't see Biden lasting. I did see something where they was talking about maybe Michelle Obama would be put. Yeah, because they know black people are gullible, and that would just be a ploy to pull them in. Because Michelle Obama would be 10 times worse than Biden.
Right.
So I mean. There's nothing that Democrat,
but the way
terrible like Obama was.
The way the world has gone already,
I do believe that could be one way they could go, because again they know black people are gullible, and in particular black women, because black women do the most voting. So she can garner their black women's attention and get major support. So. That can happen. That's one possibility. Because, like I said, I don't see Biden running all the way through. I don't see him being the face of the Democratic Party. coming election
Sorry
time.
about that, OG.
Yeah, coming election time. So
yeah, man. I mean, well, if that happens, the whole the whole order of
But
of the
I would
law
like
might
to listen,
change.
man. I would like to see Trump back in office, man. I mean, even Farrakhan. I think I shared it with you. You didn't see that?
No.
Yeah,
What
he
said that he wants
Farrakhan
Trump
was
in
like, yo,
office?
pretty much. He was like, bro, because he's the first of his kind. Where he's like, you can't control him.
He bucks the system.
And this is what he said. This is what Farrakhan said. You know, the same people that have been against black people, you know, that have always been against black liberation, is the same people that wants to take out Trump. He said, Justice Department. They know. He said, you know how we could check the history of how they treated us. He said, all the law enforcement agencies, judiciary, all of these different agencies that have always targeted people of color and neutralized black revolutionaries and things of that nature. These are the same companies that's going after Trump.
Yeah.
Now he didn't say it's not like he was. The only correlation was that the same the same people that Trump had issue with are the same people that black people have always had issue with, or the same corporations and things like that are attacking Trump and his character and things of that nature has always been the same ones as have always done the same thing with black people.
Right.
Killed us.
So-
You know, it was just interesting when he said that but he said he's the first of his kind in the sense that he's not controlled.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not controlled.
He funded through his own money and his people that you know, what I mean? Or the other supporters that funded him. They understood what his purpose was and what he was pushing.
Yeah.
And they agreed, like when he was like making America great again. See, everybody a lot of people at one point thought like, what do you mean, like bring it back to what? But I think he just meant
He was just talking about in general.
Too much new stuff going on to where it's a complete changing of the guards. Where it's like it's too much going out of whack, and he just wanted to bring it back to where things were before. And like you said, when he was in, he ran it as a business.
Yeah.
Again,
I always say, like, you know, I'm not no diehard Trump supporter. He's just a much better option than Biden. That's all. That's all.
But,
and people get caught up in his abrasive rhetoric, and I would agree.
So
of course,
what?
yeah, he said things that people don't agree with, whatever. But everybody
you don't
has.
like certain things that your parents say.
Exactly.
What does it matter?
But you
like,
judge him off of the presidency, and under his presidency, America was better.
But that's why
It was better,
You know what's
bro.
so
Like,
crazy?
I mean, come on.
And who am I? Because I'm a commoner myself. But one of my history teachers told me this eons ago in high school, and it's so true. He said that the whole purpose of the Electoral College was for them to control the votes to some degree. Although you let the common people vote, and then the Electoral College, you know,
Dictates,
they dictate how the votes go.
Yep.
Because they believe that common people are basically too stupid to make the decisions of, and no disrespect, that's just true. Because like you said, most people don't follow politics on that level.
I think it's more. It's not that we're just stupid though. And we don't know.
Uninformed.
It's
Let
a
me
lot.
say that.
There's
My
many
apologies.
ways why people
We're
are in a
ignorant of
condition.
certain stuff.
A lot of information is not provided to us deliberately.
Oh, of
it's censored
course.
out. You know, we're fed nonsense. You know.
Of course, ignorance is bliss. So.
So.
And certain things, I am a firm believer that certain things are a need-to-know basis. But, you know, we agree absolutely 100%. So, I mean, listen, at this point, I just go along with what's going on because, like you said, we as a people aren't willing to really make a change on a united front from the United States.
We got to, man, because it's not a joke out here. It's getting real, man. You know, we were just talking about earlier before that this new disease coming out, disease X.
Yeah, that was a good one. So talk about this disease X.
Yeah, the World Economic.
I knew about more of the COVID variants.
Yeah,
that were, you know, because there was a surge. You know, the percentages of people being more sick and stuff like that. Not necessarily death so much, but more people being sick again. You know, the surge is coming again. But speak about this disease X, because I wasn't informed of
the
that.
World Economic Forum had a gathering, a meetup about a few days ago about the severity of it. If you hear the World Economic Forum coming together about something, something that you pay attention to, that's where like all world leaders in academia and finance and science and media all come together and meet up and talk about the direction that the world is, the globalism and things of that nature, and how different economies are moving economically and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they spoke about disease X, a brain-eating disease that's, we could be dealing with possibly. So now they're talking about vaccines, and they was also partnering with the World Health Organization, the World Health Organization, excuse me, and they was partnering with them and talking about a vaccine now that they're going to be creating in 100 days to fight this, to battle this. Where that's what they're aiming for now, which is kind of shocking to me because throughout human history, vaccines have always needed to take years to go through.
You have to test them. You have to make sure you do your studies.
Yeah, like that. So it never, 100 days is crazy. But what's interesting with this disease X, what it is, it's a disease. It's a disease in China, pretty much. It's a virus that was taken from a pendulum. A pendulum it's a small mammal, but it's the only mammal with huge scales on it, on the body, which it uses to protect itself from predators. But its nails and its scales are like really big in like Chinese medicine, and it's the most trafficked animal in the world, especially around East Asia. And what's interesting, they took a virus from this animal and they cultured it and cultivated it in a lab and exposed it to some cells. Took those cells and gave it to what they call like humanoid mice, and those are mice that they have in the lab where they pretty much inject those mice with human genes, and that way they can test things on the mice as those are the closest things to humans. That's how if it works on a mouse, 9 times out of 10 it'll work on us. So, but then you even magnify that a reality 10 by 10 and then injecting the mouse with human genes to make it even more realistic of almost as close possible a replica of us. And when they gave these mice this virus, all of the mice died within, if I'm not mistaken, they said within a couple of months. All of the mice died of like it was a brain-eating cancer, which took them out rapidly. Now, what's interesting about this, they're talking about it. This is pretty much what this virus does, and the World Health Organization is talking about a vaccine that can stop it. And another thing too that I found weird. This is an election year.
Yes.
So another quote unquote pandemic. Is
on the horizon.
Yeah, exactly. It's coming up now. Funny, during an election year, the same way COVID popped up in 2022, which is ironically an election year. But it's let's not forget all the billionaires that's buying bunkers. I know you've seen that.
I've heard.
There's been 15 billionaires so far that's buying bunkers.
I think,
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes.
He's building the biggest bunker. It's the biggest, like,
250 million.
270 million.
270 million.
The most money ever for a house type of structure. And he's building that. They said it's the most for a house pertaining to real estate. Something like that. Don't quote me on it, but it's something to that effect. What he's building is it's never been done before, pretty much. And it's a $270 million bunker that he's building on the island of Hawaii. But it's not just him. It's 14 other billionaires that are doing that. They know something we don't.
Listen, man. Everybody can't be welcome on the ark. Only those that are privileged and that in such a privileged position will get that ability. But I wanted to ask you though. So with that being said, with this disease X, how do you think that'll affect the workforce? Because
tremendous, bro. That'll forget the workforce. That'll shake the economy, cripple the economy.
Well, Once again, because like you said, let's say if there is another possible pandemic that comes on. But my question is, how did they get all of this stuff over here? If you said it started
It's in
over
China.
Right. It started in China, but
How did COVID get over there? COVID started in the Wuhan labs.
Right.
Over there in China.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But then miraculously, it ended up over here.
Right. So,
So, they'll find a way to do that. It's just, at this point, it's just a matter of, will the people be dumb enough to fall for the okie doke again? Or will they collectively wake up and,
no.
Because at this point, they're going to hit you, but they're going to hit you with the same thing.
Live in. There's a capitalist society.
Yeah, but this is not about money, though. They got all the money.
But I'm saying, no. I'm talking about us, the common people.
Yeah.
They need to go to work. They got bills to pay. They got other stuff.
Yeah, but capitalism don't help the worker. It helps the guy that owns the company.
But you're looking at somebody that believes that I just need to make money to pay bills.
Yeah, but when they do, they're not. Yeah, but but their mindset is more from a survival perspective. They're not really thinking about cat. They're not.
That's why they're gonna do. Yeah. If there's another vaccine, from the standpoint, we gotta take it. We gotta do what we gotta do.
I mean, of course you're gonna always.
But my question is, can we withstand another possible lockdown? Can we? You know what I'm saying? Because then
I don't.
It's on the horizon. It's just gonna be every 4 years. What's it called? Like, things still haven't changed.
It's just funny that coincidentally it's during an election year.
Right. So
it's an election year. That's the funny part.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
I mean, again, man, Biden's, going back to that, his approval rating, because initially the question was about the presidency like that, but it all stems from him, bro. All of this chaos that you see happen is under his presidency. There's no denying that. There's no denying that whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Like, Americans are suffering and we're not getting any attention, and you letting in thousands and thousands and thousands of criminals per day. Violent, dog. I just seen something where they said, like, and it's happening in the Bronx specifically, where you have the Spanish immigrants, Mexicans, Venezuelans, things of that nature, coming to people's houses, and the women and children are knocking on the door asking for help. And when women open the door, the men come in and bum rush them. And they're cleaning house, bro. Cleaning house. One guy one dude came over here from Mexico, robbed the store. He stole like, little small things like deodorant, underwear, socks, stuff like that. He stole all of that, got locked up, got released the next day, went back, stole some more stuff. And then when they tried to stop him, he stabbed the guy and then got locked up. So at this point, the crime it's almost by bringing these people over here and not giving them anything, it's a recipe for disaster, because they're going to be, that's going to push up the crime.
Survival, yeah. It's
survival instincts are kicking in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's not even about, like, what is the person to do? They got a family and all that, and you they're coming into an environment where they don't have anything. Now, but what is interesting, though, I will say this, though. The African immigrants that are coming over are not being treated the same way that the Spanish immigrants are coming. Like the ones that's coming from Mexico and Venezuela, they're getting housing. Not housing, they're being provided with shelter. The African immigrants are not. They're kicking them out. A lot of them are literally living on the street. They're not treating them the same, and the reason why I believe that is
something different.
Huh?
Did you expect it to be different?
No, I didn't, because that's the whole reason of bringing the immigrants in, especially from Mexico and those countries, is to replace black people here in America. Period. They want to purge us out. They don't need the black working class anymore now. This is why they're letting all these immigrants come in.
Then who's gonna be the work? So then basically those immigrants are gonna get the type of treatment that we get?
No, what's gonna happen is they're gonna take our jobs for cheaper.
Right, but if they don't need us, let's say
No, because they don't need us in a sense like if I'm a corporation and I have employees,
cheaper labor.
Yeah, if I'm paying my employees $25-$30 an hour, but I can hire these immigrants that'll do the same job and they'll take $15-$10 an hour, and to them that's a come up because where they're from is way worse, way worse. So they're coming here thinking they're getting the American dream. In reality, they're not. But for me,
in reality,
they are. But for me, as a
foundation,
as an owner, I'm going to hire them, and I'm going to get. That's what they're going to. That's why they're being brought in. So they're going to replace. What I'm saying is, I get that, but that's only going to benefit a certain few, though. When you say can you blame, so you got a few benefiting while majority is suffering. So If you can't blame them, because they operate, because you know where that comes from. That mindset, it's a psychopathic,
that too, and
type of mindset.
I won't go about psychopathic.
It is though.
But money has money doesn't have the morals. It's the person that's making the money to decide between how you want to run your ship. But when you're looking at money and you're looking at the cost of certain stuff, granted, will there be few far in between that'll still be making $25-$30 an hour? Yeah, but those are based upon the people that excel at what they do and stuff like that. If you get more cheaper labor, and then, like you said, those guys are coming from nothing, so they might work very hard just to prove themselves. If you were a business owner, you would most
okay, but what about all of the black people that are going to be displaced and economically castrated because of that now? What about them?
That's not their concern.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what happens, but those are Americans, though. You're bringing in outside people and putting them over Americans?
Of course they're going to do that.
But that's not, we know what they're trying to do, but does that make sense? Is that normal thinking?
Is it normal thinking? No, it's a financial economic form of thinking, and in the United States,
but no other country does that though. You're supposed to protect your own citizens.
Yeah, I can't speak on any other.
I can because you can research this. This ain't hard to do.
Right. I'm not saying I don't know if other people have gone over to other countries.
They've
been hired for cheaper.
No, they can't. No, because we just talked about how other first world nations don't have an open border.
Right. No, we do. Obviously, that's what I'm saying. But since we have an open border, of course they're gonna do that.
So this is but there's reasons behind that, and the reasons behind it is to displace one group of people specifically.
Not disputing that.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's the whole reason. But this is why all the African immigrants that are coming over here.
Abnormal in this country to think and to apply that type of style work. I guess that what's the word I'm looking for? To apply those work tactics to your business.
Yeah, but what I'm saying that's just one aspect of it. What I'm saying is that's all happening under Joe Biden. That's what I'm saying. That didn't happen under Donald Trump.
Okay,
that hasn't happened it didn't even happen under Obama.
Absolutely, but like you said, Trump wanted it back the way it was. Yeah, like you said.
But you look after American citizens, and anybody that comes in needs to be screened, thoroughly scrutinized.
Absolutely.
As you should, just like any. I just can't walk into any of your country. I got to get screened and all of that, which is okay, which makes sense.
Absolutely.
So therefore, what Biden is doing is catastrophic in a sense, because you have thousands upon thousands of violent criminals, rapists, murderers, pedophiles coming into the country every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the state of Texas is not keeping them. They're shipping them out to all the Democratic states, all the blue states. Y'all supported this nonsense. Y'all supported with Biden with keeping the border open. Good. Y'all accommodate all these migrants. This is why New York is getting flooded, and Chicago, and everywhere, and all the other Democratic states. California. Mm-hmm. They're sending them all over, and he's doing that on purpose. I mean, when I say him, what's his name of Texas? Governor Abbott. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it doesn't make any sense, though, because now, again, you're having all of these people come in, and they're taking over services that would normally be given out to American citizens, New Yorkers, that was being provided with certain services. Those services are going to be suspended due to the city and spending all this money to accommodate the migrants because they're not getting any federal support from the government. So what I'm saying, it does. It's ridiculous, man. It's just long term. This is ridiculous. The mayor said it. He said in 2 years, going to cost us $16 billion to accommodate them at this rate that they keep coming in. So what happens then? See, don't got $16 billion. They just had to. The mayor suspended. He had put a suspension on overtime for police and firemen, but he had to rescind that because all of the migrants that's coming in. And crime starting to skyrocket, the city can't control it. To stop it.
If I had a place that could house these migrants, I would milk the government for everything they're worth.
Bro, but it's just you don't know who you getting though. That's
true.
The thing. That's the thing.
A lot of times you don't truly know who.
Yeah, but with this, we're just talking about the probability though. Of course, we know you never know what you're getting. But when you just bringing in, you know how many criminals are fleeing? Violent offenders that are getting into the country.
Absolutely, because
that's what I'm talking about, bro.
Asylum and safety here.
So
we agree. Like
it doesn't make any sense,
listen,
man. Biden,
All right, so we're gonna go back to it. Put you in the business owner's chair. If you're looking at costs of how things can be done and stuff like that, and you line these people up, you got somebody that came from a third world country that's itching for work, and you step aside. Let's say you've seen them work a few days or whatever have you, and you see that their work ethic at the time aligns with some of your workers that you've had or whatever. But maybe the people that have been working for your company for a certain period of time. Maybe aren't as enthusiastic as they once were, or something of that nature. Wouldn't you hire some people for cheaper pay? If you can cut costs and still get great production from your workers.
See, well,
because you have other finances have to be in and have to go in other places in regards to keep your business afloat.
Well, if I would already look at the workers that I have, and I really wouldn't necessarily focus on if they're enthusiastic or not. I would really just focus on their efficiency at whatever job that they have. If they're efficient, then I'm going to keep them. And if my business is already at a place of success, I don't really need to change nothing. All I just need to do keep doing is just following the same model that's been keeping me successful.
True indeed.
I would if I have a team that I've been with, and my success is projected to continue to go up, I'm not going to change that because, if I have one person from another country come in and they work hard, I'll keep them. Absolutely. But sometimes you just got to just spend more money to make money. Yeah, you could have those ones that are coming in and pay them less, but the efficiency may not be the same long term because the team that got me where I'm at, my success has been with that model. You understand what I'm saying?
But you still have to hire and fire at different times anyway.
True.
And what I meant by enthusiasm was more meaning your efficiency a lot of times is based upon your enthusiasm and wanting to still come to work and whether you pride yourself on it. Can your enthusiasm,
especially if you enjoy your job, yeah.
That's what I was alluding to. But yes, you are correct. The efficiency is what matters. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you still have to hire and fire anyway, due to whatever reasons that it might be. Certain things, lateness, attendance, different things along those lines.
And then too, because then if you already got the money, you're successful, then to hire people cheaper, you're then going to have to fire other folks that depend on it to survive.
Oh, of course, but you're not just gonna like you said. But it all depends on the efficiency of what. If you believe that, let's say the weakest link on the chain, at the time, you may say, "Hey, sorry, gotta have some layoffs, gotta have some people that's gonna get cut," and you might do that to bring in somebody for cheaper labor, like you said. You would assume that the person that you're bringing in for cheap labor could at least keep up to play with the efficiency and the production to keep your business at its production. You would assume so. I mean, it happens on a day-to-day basis when you work retail or whatever. There might be some people that may be whatever, may not even care as much, but you have enough to keep the production at a substantial level to keep you either very effective or afloat to where you're still making money. Mm-hmm. So that's all I was saying. But yeah, of course they should be screened, but land of the free, home of the brave, man. It is what it is. So listen, just before we got on air, we were talking about the Jonathan Majors situation. Most podcasts, most platforms have spoken about this. He's facing sentencing on February 6th, and he can serve up to 1 year. From your perspective, did you actually see the video?
Yeah.
Of that led to these charges that were brought up against him.
I don't know how any charges was brought up because I saw a man running away.
Exactly. I mean, for me, it looked like he exhibited humane instincts and tried his best to flee the scene. Now, granted, I guess what he's being charged for is, supposedly pushing her or forcefully trying to keep her inside of the vehicle so that he can get away from her, from what my optics saw, from what my specs saw. But he was convicted of 2 counts of harassment and assault, and then he was acquitted of 1 count of intentional assault in the 3rd degree and 1 count of aggravated harassment in the 2nd degree. Now, my question is, what are you considering harassment? Number one, like, what is the harassment? If you're running away, where's the harassment there? And if you go by what occurred in the vehicle, that's all hearsay. That's.
But the man was running away and got charged.
Yeah, that's doubtful. Like you can't. That's hearsay. You don't have enough to go off with that.
Yeah.
So
it's just funny, but he gets dropped from everything.
Right. I was about to say he got fired from.
But
Marvel immediately.
when the other dude from the DC universe, the Justice League character, the one who plays the Flash, I can't remember his name.
Right. But that's not Marvel, right?
No, it's
that's
DC.
Yeah.
But the white dude who played Flash, he was locked up on assault on women. He choked a woman, something to that degree. Another woman was thrown to the floor, something like that. So he has he has instances where he's assaulted women. He was never dropped. You heard nothing about it. DC didn't drop him.
Right. My only argument, I guess, would have to be DC and Marvel. The differences?
No,
maybe Marvel
it's deeper than that, bro. It ain't got nothing to do with no DC Marvel.
No, it's not deeper than that. Because
Yes,
I know
it
what
is.
you're trying to allude to.
Yeah, you know exactly what it is.
Short went through the same type of situation. He hasn't really fully bounced back from it. Do you see Columbus Short in movies like that anymore? And I think his wife, if I remember, she was either Hispanic or black.
But the point is,
and I don't even think it was
if somebody of the
situation.
different complexion do it, their career is not destroyed. That's the whole point. So there is a favoritism there. There is a bias there, bro, and there's a reason for that. Are you kidding me? Oh, yo, you
trying to think this through.
Hilarious.
No,
you got to think this through.
Yeah, no, because
What's think through?
we don't fully. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to the comments in a few.
Yeah.
We don't technically know the full scope of the situation with the guy from DC and blah blah blah. Now, like you said, we did see the video there. Maybe. Well, let's be real. Jonathan Majors was his peak where he was reaching his heights were much higher than. Do you even know the guy for DC? Jonathan Majors was getting that look. So
well, look, bro, that was the first movie.
They stood by.
That other guy had been in DC movies already.
They stood beside him. What I'm saying, no, Jonathan Majors, he was playing in Ant-Man. He had Creed. He had like a few. That's what I'm saying. He had a few movies. Like he was was going through the roof.
But he also didn't have that complexion for protection.
Oh well, we'll agree to that.
So that's what I'm saying.
But I'm not saying. I'm saying there's a difference between he was allowed to be an A-lister. You understand what I'm saying? That's the difference too, right? Like that. So Marvel, they stood beside him until there was a verdict. Now, once the verdict came out, I guess they figured if he's guilty on any count of anything, we can't be associated with that. Like I said, DC, maybe not. Or they looking at this guy like, okay, what is he? I don't know. No disrespect to the person. I don't know. What is he? A C-lister, D-lister? Maybe.
I'm just saying, bro. When it comes to us, if we do something and we're in a certain position of status or fame,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but when our fellow counterpart, Caucasian counterpart, does that, it's not the same. It's not the same energy because it depends. The system is predicated on that.
Well, the system is predicated for us to fail. However, like I said, it depends on how much money you bringing in and how much money you will cost us due to that.
But the man didn't do anything. He ran away. What is he supposed to do? No, what else do you do?
Listen, but no.
I'm just saying, but what else are you supposed to do?
I don't even want to say this, but technically, from the optics and from how other people are going to view it, he put his hands on a woman.
He'd stop it. That's not because of this.
Listen, bro, huh?
No, who said that? Who's saying that? I ain't hear nobody say that. There's no reasoning for it.
Harassment and assault.
Yeah, but there's no reason. But when you watch the video, it shows that those accusations are not true. Clearly. So then what happens now?
No. He put his hands on a woman. I agree with you. He did it in defense of himself. So
that's not assault.
It can be viewed by the letter.
Defending yourself is an assault.
She didn't technically hit him from what we saw when that she was trying to come. Now I don't know what happened in the vehicle. Do you? No,
I'm talking about what transpired after.
I'm saying he got out of the vehicle and he tried to keep her in there.
If he assaulted her, why was she chasing him down the block?
Obviously, because she wanted. So they got into some sort of argument. He didn't want to be around her. She was pursuing him. She was trying to assault him, if I'm guessing, and harass him.
So how does he get charged?
Because he's the man. I'm not gonna go into the black man and all that. He's the man. So he's always. Come on, of course that's the.
Yeah, be careful with them snow bunnies, man.
I hate to say this. You have to be careful with women in general.
No, them snow bunnies too, in particular. Not in particular. I won't say in particular, but I will say. Listen, it's.
You have to be careful.
It's a risk.
It's always a
risk. Yeah, it's a bigger risk. They can get you. I'm scared of them.
One thing my boy always told me, man, always prepare for variable change. And no disrespect, when it comes to a woman, that emotion is a variable you cannot prepare for. You cannot predict that.
Yeah, but of course I get all that.
I'm
but
not
I'm just
gonna
saying.
go by Caucasian. I'm not gonna go by black. I'm not gonna go by Hispanic. I'm not gonna. It's that emotion in them.
But that's just the feminine nature across the board.
That's my point.
But that's not what I'm talking about. Though.
Be wary of the snow bunny.
You have to, because you're acting like race doesn't play a matter, doesn't play a factor in its reality when it does without question.
So if it were another Caucasian male star, that was going to reach the heights of where Jonathan Majors was going to reach. You don't believe that woman would have done the same exact thing in that situation, saying, "Oh, he assaulted me," and possibly press charges on him?
I'm just saying that there's instances of white males that have done worse and have been protected.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying.
The protection, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. And you didn't, and they didn't get charged with nothing.
I don't know why. Maybe I hate.
I'm thinking maybe the man, he might have stepped on some toes and they didn't like it.
Or I hate to speculate, Marvel probably came to him and said, "Listen, we know this isn't much. We'll cover this up if you go along with the certain program that we want you to go along with. And maybe he wasn't cool with it. Because, like you said, anybody with eyes that
Could
has
clearly
seen
see
the
the
video,
man's running away.
yeah,
Like, how does he get charged with something? Like,
so
what else are you supposed to do? Other than run.
It's a shakedown, man. It's a shakedown because you know, I mean, we're gonna get into this anyway, but it's something like Cat Williams had made a statement of. It's just when you got people in positions of power, you know, they're gonna try their best. But we're gonna get into Cat. But what I wanted to ask you is, do you think Jonathan Majors will be able to bounce back from this situation? You know, do you think he'll be able to? I mean, even if
I think he may not be in no Marvel, but I still think he can make a living.
You know what I mean? I'm wishing the best for him. I'm hoping the best for Mr. Majors, man, because we've seen a lot of people get railroaded in this industry. You know, because you didn't play along with the system. Now I get it. In life, you know, there are going to be some people that are team players. There are going to be some that aren't.
And
you know?
Speaking, because you say you don't want to make it a black and white thing, to bring this up, did you see Dr. Umar on the Joe Budden show?
I didn't. He didn't release it from what I saw.
He hasn't released, but I saw certain reels. Did you see how Umar?
What you said about Eminem? You going
no, not that. I agree with him though.
Of course you do.
I agree with him on that. Absolutely.
But of course, talking about when he was talking to Ish about dating.
He got him. He got him. He had that man slipping up, tripping up over his yeah, bro. Cut it out.
No, he just said. Let's get back to. Let me remember how he started off. Because he said, "Are you
He said you have that view. He said you have that view because you're with."
He said no, and he said no. I didn't because remember what it goes back to. Like I told you, it's more of an economic thought process than just a black or white thing. Granted, yes. Are Caucasians more economically favored? Absolutely.
No, but it's not just that. Marriage has always been about that. For thousands of years, families married other families for political power, economic power.
Right,
so that's what marriage has always been about.
Why are we going into more of the cultural and racial aspect of it? Are there differences between the culture and race? Absolutely, no doubt about it.
But that's not what about. But from an economic standpoint, you have to consider the fact that women live longer than men. And men that that tend to be successful, even though majority men marry black women, just to put that out there, you know, most of us are married to black. Most black women are married to each other, but black men that are successful, they're marrying out. So they're married. What happens is when they pass away, that wealth goes over to that white wife,
their children,
and it goes back into their community though. From an economic standpoint, now other races practice group economics where the money stays within the family and it stays within the community. Everybody practices group economics. That's all Dr. Umar is saying. It's us to practice group economics, but people just don't want to hear it, and it's just black people because everybody else do it.
True indeed. Now,
so that's all it's about.
This is going to be
people try to make marriage and it's about love. It's not about. It's never been about love. Because if it was about love, you know, it goes back. Show me a rich white woman that's with a broke black man. If it's about love, it's never about love.
Well, most women, period, they don't want to be with broke men, but
I'm just saying. But it's because that's. But what I'm saying, it's not about love though. If it was, you would find what I just said.
Right.
You'd find a rich white woman with a broke black man, and it's solely about love. But you would never find that anywhere on the planet.
Right. This is blasphemous, but all right, let's say you're married to a white woman. Mm-hmm. You have some children. Mm-hmm. You're well off. You pass. She's still gonna have to look out for the children that y'all came in. So the money is still granted, it is going to a community, but how folks and stuff like that. But the money will still stay within the black community too, because your children are black. Now, granted, I understand you mean looking out for more within certain community, I guess, in like And like,
but the women dictated the money though. If you look at how the money is spent with families and stuff like that, it's the women are the biggest consumers.
That's what I'm saying. They're just more selfish.
So it's going to
really
be
that.
But what I'm saying is another
selfish.
thing too. It's values.
No
and things
disrespect.
like that. But
no disrespect. If you pass and you have a black woman, you can't guarantee that she's going to. Besides within the familial aspect, what do you mean by doing it for the community? Do you know if she's going to be a philanthropist? She's going to give back? Like, what exactly do y'all mean when y'all say it stays within the community?
It should. I'm saying we should practice group. These are things that we should do. Is it practice? No, but this is why we're in the condition that we're in, though. So it can't be both ways. We can't complain about the condition, but not doing things to rectify.
I've been told you that.
Okay,
I
so
don't
that's
like
what I'm
to
saying.
do excuses.
So this is why, from an economic standpoint, sometimes interracial dating and marriage is not the best for the black family, because we don't have enough black families of our own. See, you know what's so interesting? Chinese women marry outside their race the most in America. But you know why it's not a problem within the Chinese community? Because they already have Chinese families that are committed to each other. They already have an economic base, or already a built nation, a support group, an entire $2-3 billion support group, where they all practice group economics and support each other first. So the ones that go out and marry outside the race, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't really have a major economic impact to the body, because within the body they're all still committed to each other. But black people, we don't have no economic base. We're not committed to each other at all, and we still be going out.
Fair enough.
That's what I mean. Well, let's build us up first before we do that.
Hold on. When you say we don't have the black families, do you mean in regards to marriage, or meaning just even the whole house? The household isn't man, woman, child, because like you said, some people may not believe in marriage, but at least they could be like, all right, we're living. We had our children. We're staying together. We may not do it under the government confines or whatever. What do you mean? Exactly?
So you know what it is. You know what it is.
You mean
it's
by
not
that?
Marriage. Really, when you think about it, it's not the issue. It's the culture and how people are brainwashed in their perception.
Yes.
Of how we conduct ourselves, how we interact with each other, which makes marriage bad. It's this generation that makes marriage bad. It's the way we're pretty much brainwashed, because we're all brainwashed to a certain degree.
Like you said, it goes back to what you said. Sorry to cut you off. I was just gonna say, in different cultures and in civilizations, different cultures. Let's say you're middle class or something like that. Different cultures, whatever. But you can provide or whatever. If the man cheats, the woman might most like in a different culture, she might just deal with it, and and just like, it is what it is. He taking care of the family. My priority as a woman are my children and making sure that the house is kept. In our culture, that may not be it. You cheat, goodbye. You understand what I'm saying? And as we know, for men, a lot of times that's just a part of their nature. Just like a woman's nature, she wants to go out and be seen and get stuff and whatever have you. I understand certain things. Should we have this exercise more discipline? Sure, no problem. Understood. But what I'm saying is that's also plays a part in the differences as to why there might be more families that are more effective, more long lasting, that provide the longevity in different cultures, because of reasons like that. I'm not saying that that's the sole reason. I'm not saying that. Not by, because like you said, now exactly as you stated, in this era, we've been brainwashed that somehow in our culture you shouldn't stand for this, you shouldn't stand for that. Well, if anything, go ahead and be independent and stuff like that. But it's mostly our culture that's pushing that, or that's receiving that message the most.
Well, what's happening in our culture with black people, you got this gender war now, whereas every time you online, there's always the black women and black men attacking each other, and that's the whole goal, because it's to neutralize the black family. Black families just make up communities. Communities just will make up nations. So if you neutralize the black family, you neutralize the base, the founding base of it.
Yes.
So it's what happened is, you look at how black women have been economically uplifted, while black men have been economically castrated. So over time now, black women are looking at black men in a negative light.
Because he doesn't make enough. He doesn't
and then
provide.
black men are looking at women like they're too masculine and they want to be boss chicks, and it's all it is. It's an agenda that has been implemented to destroy us, and we both are falling for it. Black women are falling for the nonsense of being boss chicks and being independent, and black men are falling for the nonsense to listen to black women are masculine and this and they just portray themselves. They are, but
it's not about just listening. It's about actually visualizing.
Yeah, but that's not but there's all reasoning. There's reasons for behind, because black men are no better in a sense. You have black men now that are just stand and watch a woman get stomped and pull out a phone and record her. Traditional black men are being phased out too. Just like there's been traditional black women being phased out. Traditional black men have been phased out as well. Real men don't move on real principles and values like how black men did before. It's not. This is why you look at the condition of the community and our youth. You can see it.
You're right.
So
but
there's no
like
structure and no discipline, and that
we
comes
agreed
from
there.
men.
We agreed there, but like we stated before. Nowadays, a man. Now, I agree with you. He shouldn't be pulling out his phone, but he's not going to go lift a finger when these women. Some of these women are speaking to him in a certain way and feel like, yo, I don't need you. I got this. I got that. All right. So if you believe it, you can fend for yourself. Granted, is that the outlook you should have?
No,
maybe,
because that's the whole plan. Is to have us fighting amongst each other. It's to divide and conquer.
I'm just saying, but
we both have to wake up to that and realize that we need each other.
So listen, you got to treat me accordingly in order to get a certain treatment back.
Yeah, but it's about both of us waking up and recognizing.
That's what I'm saying. Quid pro quo. Yeah. If you're coming off in a way, let's be real, if you're speaking like how men do as a woman, okay, so you got it like that, no problem. Don't try to throw on don't try to throw on something else when things get thick. Yeah. And for a man, if a woman feels he not providing, he not doing, cool, no problem. You have the right to use your discernment and say, nah, he's not leading properly. I'm out. You don't have to argue. You don't have to do. You act within your feminine nature and let the man answer. If you believe that his masculinity is too much for you, and that's too rough, leave. You don't have to fight. You don't have to argue. That's it. What is this sense of being so strong and stuff like that? Relax.
Yeah, they fell for the
Let your energy. A woman's feminine energy will make a man will weaken a man and will strengthen and weaken him at the same time. Mm-hmm. It'll strengthen him to be like, damn, I really gotta make sure I take care of this woman. But it'll have him at such a weakened state where he's like, you know what I mean? I can't, do this to this woman. I can't, because she's so feminine. She knows how to treat me.
We agree that, but there has to be a balance. Women have to be more feminine, and men have to be more masculine too. Like
that's vice versa. A man that's masculine will have to come together. We'll make sure that woman is feminine, and vice versa. The woman that's feminine will make sure that, because if he's not, like I said, if a woman is just that feminine, she will just clearly walk away and say,
but you know what the problem is? You know what the problem is, though? We're if we keep focusing on, we need to be already working on building the families. We still worrying about still having gender wars where we're not even coming together to even initiate a family.
As a man, it's hard to have a family when you have to be in a certain tax bracket for
absolutely,
many women.
Absolutely. So this is why. Difficult. So absolutely,
they're not accepting of regular guys for the most part.
Well, yeah.
Back
yeah.
in different times, you might have been more accepting.
A bit more, yeah. So that's true
what
too.
it is. It's kind of hard.
If you make it more
And I'm
money,
not mad at it. I'm for, if you can't afford to have children, you shouldn't be having them. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah, but no, it's not about. I don't think it's that because you've had people that had children in poor situations. That this is how you did forever for millennia. People have been having children, 8, 9 children, and post slavery. That was one of the hardest times to be black and be alive, and we were still making it. People were still having 8, 9, 10 kids, families, and making it. You know what I'm saying? So it's about the teamwork. What the difference is that you had a mother and father in the house that worked together.
We agree there.
So we got.
Absolutely.
It's not. There's no teamwork. There's no teamwork because if we could do it back then, which is a much worse and dire situation, why can't we do it now?
Because I think I could be wrong. I think when the workforce opened up more to women, it changed the whole dynamic.
But remember, the post-slavery didn't open up to white. At that time, white women wasn't even working.
Right, I'm talking about now. What I'm asking you is because I had a conversation with a coworker a few weeks back, and I was explaining. All right, let's say if a guy makes $45,000 a year, it may not be much. But I said, what if the woman is home and stuff like that? That'll lighten the load for a lot of things. And she said nowadays the cost, I think, of what's projected is at least like probably 80,000, 90,000 a year necessary to raise it to raise, I guess, an infant or a little baby. So I was like, yeah, but you're forgetting, like, if she's home and she's nursing and nurturing the child, somehow, some way, she's cooking food and stuff like that. Like you said, there are certain things that maybe, hopefully, could balance it out. Maybe not, but like you said, I'm telling you, I believe that when they came into the workforce, the dynamic of things changed. So now, if they can make a certain amount of money, they definitely might want. We already stated they want either at where they are or above. So that changed the whole dynamic of a lot of their thinking.
Yeah, because which doesn't really make sense, because if you want to be a boss, if you get to be a boss and now you're making all the money that you make, you shouldn't be worrying about what somebody else makes. You shouldn't be worrying about them needing to make more for stability and comfortability, because you already provide that. You have that for yourself.
Right.
So just if you meet a good man and he's not on that level, but he checks all the boxes off. No. I don't see why there should be a reason,
because their definition
but
of
they're
providing
looking
is
at
different. They only view it from financial standpoint.
But it's not just that. But women naturally fall victim to hypergamy, because they always look.
And that's a part of their nature.
Yeah, so. They're gonna always look for the most suitable and qualified man. Even if they're on a certain level, they're gonna want a man that's past that level. Right. Which biologically, because they always seek a stability and protection.
Right.
And which is a biological thing.
Right.
Like women in nature, in every down to insects.
Right. And this doesn't have to. This doesn't have to do exactly with the specific topic. Right. This doesn't have to do with the exact topic, but if let's say if men know that women by nature are hypergamous, and most men for the most part accept it, they may not be happy about it, they may not be cool about it. They may not be like, well, it is, we basically like, it is what it is. But if most women know that most men are cheaters by nature, why aren't they so as accepting of it? I mean, obviously they may not want them running around like recklessly, just, you know what I mean? But why aren't they as accepting of our nature as opposed to what we accept in regards to their nature?
Well, society in period doesn't really care about what do men think? It's more accommodating to women's feelings and how women look at things and view things. It's so that's just a societal thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's just a societal thing. You know, if you on a ship and the ship is about to sink, the women and children get on the boat first. The men stay back.
Oh yeah, of course.
So like because women women are always going to be more protected and considered more so.
But a lot of them don't understand that
in certain regards.
A lot of them don't understand that when we be like, yo, y'all are the closest things to children, like the way I act, and they just don't get it.
True, but because that really pertains from a physical standpoint.
That's why they say kids and women on the boat first.
Yeah.
No, it's not even just physical.
It's very because they're more vulnerable physically,
and it's very emotional.
But at that time, though, you're not thinking of, it's not that. It's
no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying
it's about keeping the strength back to defend while you let the weaker.
No, I said that like. If you tell them like, yo, listen, y'all are close children, like they don't get it. Like it's like because think about it. That's why they say man, woman, child. Mm-hmm. Technically, the woman isn't the man's child, but he has to. His job is to protect. Yeah. But what does a woman say? My first concern are the children. Mm-hmm. So either way, that's what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. To other man, y'all are both my children, regardless of how you view it. But from their standpoint, never mind. You forget the correlation. Don't worry. You're not. You don't get the correlation.
I don't think a man. I don't think a guy would even look at it from that perspective. He's just looking at it. That's my lady, my wife, my woman, and that's my child. And that's who I protect and provide for and love dearly. So I think it's more of a perspective of protection. That's all. But he still recognizes that's his woman and that's his child.
However way you want to slice it.
That's the only way you can slice it. There's no other way.
I'm not.
There's no other way to slice. That's his woman. That's his child. That's the only way.
However way you want to slice it, bro. Everybody has a different form of thinking, bro. All I said was what I said, bro.
But
I understand, man.
But there's no way you can look at a woman as your child, though. That's what I'm saying. That's not possible.
Okay, thank you. So when a woman says, and I'm sure you've seen Fresh and Fit and all of these other podcasts, when a woman says, so if I'm working or whatever, and right now he's not working and stuff like that, I have to provide for him, so I have to take care of another child. Anything you want to add now?
Wait, you saying when a woman is working?
Right.
Yeah.
And she says, like, oh, he's not working right now or something like that. So I have to be the sole provider or whatever. What? So we have two children. So what? He's going to be the third child?
No, because naturally, because that's a weird. That's not the same dynamic, though. That's not the same dynamic.
That's not the same dynamic. So then, why is she referencing him to be another child at that moment?
Because the man is supposed to normally be working while the woman's home.
So either way, what I'm saying is, regardless of what, that is like saying that's another. If you have to do that, that is if it's another child.
No, it's not, because the natural.
So then why would she say that then?
Because that's a woman operating from an emotional. That's emotional, but that's not rooted in fact. That's not a pragmatic viewpoint. That's not logic,
it's a viewpoint.
though.
I didn't say. Wait,
Gentlemen, can I interject?
My apologies.
Can I interject?
My apologies.
Go ahead.
Can I interject? So, A.PODMAN.
I know you.
I hear you trying to justify your claim, but bottom line is just a figure of speech. That doesn't mean that the man is a child.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a figure of speech.
I agree.
A woman will use things like that when she's upset because she doesn't want to be the provider. So now she's denigrating the man, right? Calling him a child because he's unable to provide at the level that he should be. But does that mean she's calling him a child? No, it's a reference. It's a figure of speech because she's emotionally upset behind him not being able to provide for the family.
Can we also say that then at that moment or from that standpoint, that's the form of thinking?
No.
We can't say that.
Because again, here's the thing. Here's the thing that you got to consider and logically consider this. She would not be able to make that statement unless she felt both of them were on the equal levels of being able to provide. A child is never on an equal level of provision as the parents. Never. Because our children are always going to be our children. They're going to always look up to us. I don't care how old they get or how young they are. They're going to always look up to us. The man doesn't look up to the woman in that sight. He looks towards the woman to support him in the things that he's doing, and it should be vice versa. That's how he covers the family. Anything else?
Yes. Yes. Because being that he provides, and like they said, most of the time, usually let's even ask you, do women usually want a man that's more superior than them?
Most of the time.
Okay.
See, a woman, hold on, let me ask you a question. A woman wants a man that she can feel safe around, that can protect her,
So she's looking up to him.
that can cover her.
That's not a child.
Well, no, it's not so much.
Let OG speak.
It's not so much of her looking up to him. It's about her understanding his position in the family dynamic.
Good dressing. Good dressing.
Dressing?
I like the dressing.
Oh my God!
That's the only way it is.
She's looking up to him. If he's superior, she's looking up to him.
Yes, not the way a child would look up to their parent. No, not that.
I didn't say
But that's
that.
what you're trying to correlate it with.
No, that's no. Either way,
let me do
if
this.
You have
Let
to
me
be
do
taken
this.
care of.
Let me do this. So
What?
now you're gonna make me go to my Bible.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Cause man, you know, I
came
got
from-
a lot of respect for you, man.
'cause she came
but
from
sometimes
Adam's
you be
rib,
trying to
right?
make things work. You be trying to
came
fit
from
a
Adam's
square
rib,
peg
right?
into a circle. No, it ain't gonna fit.
Right. Listen, man, I'm not here to think the same as everybody, but
No,
she came
of course
from
not.
Adam's rib, though, right? In a good book, right? Right? Huh? Anything else you want to throw out in that good book?
Woo, boy.
Right?
Thank you, Jesus.
Right? God told Adam, make sure you take care of this garden or whatever. The message was brought down. Anything else you wanted to look up in that good book?
So he has a protective
Right,
one, but they came
right.
together to make the children.
Anything else you wanna view in that good book? Well, yeah, we agree that I agree that both need each
So
other.
the woman and the
There's a
child is on a
balance.
different level, though. That's what I'm saying. It's not the same.
I didn't dispute that.
Yes, you did.
I didn't dispute
You
that. I
correlated
said-
the woman with
I
being
said-
with on the same level as the child, like a woman is a child.
I said the closest thing. I said as opposed to man, woman, child. I never said that they.
It's man, woman, child, but it's
I
different
never.
levels.
I said the closest thing. I didn't say that they are on
what
the
do you mean
same
the
level.
closest thing?
Okay, you ready?
Man,
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
We're
I am
going to
ready.
the book of Ephesians,
Okay.
5th chapter, right? 22nd verse, starting there. It says, wives, not child, not man, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. Now you tell me what you think that means.
That means that you submit yourself to the husband, like you said, as to the Lord. So you are under his leadership, under his guidance. Let him lead you, let him guide you, and you submit to that. That's what that means to me.
Okay, so let me finish then. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. So when we talk about protection, guidance, being the intercessor, looking out, covering, this is what all that means. Doesn't mean she has to look up to him. Oh, I'm gonna do whatever you say. Nah. It's free will. It's a choice. This is a standard that's showing you what should happen in between a wife and a husband. But it doesn't finish there. It goes, therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. But then it says, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. So this is very important. If we understand the story of Christ, right? He came to earth, right, from heaven, right? He was crucified and died on the cross for our sins so that we can have a life of freedom and life that more abundantly, right? So it's telling us that if we are covering our families, we must cover our families or our wives as Christ has covered the church and his children, right? And if that's the case, then we as men must be willing to sacrifice our own lives to be able to take care of our women.
Absolutely.
That has nothing to do with looking up to anybody. It's all a process and a doctrine so that this thing works collectively so that we can live in harmony, in peace, freedom, and in love.
True indeed. Do you look up to the Lord?
I reverence the Lord.
That's not what I asked you.
Yes, it is.
Do you
You
look up
asked
to
me,
the
do I
Lord?
look up to the Lord? I'm telling you, I reverence the Lord. The Lord is sovereign, right? Look up reverence and look up sovereign.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going by reverence, the word of reverence.
Okay.
Because you said that.
And my reverence to the Lord has everything to do with the grace and mercies he's given me, the life he's given me, and how he protects me each and every day. And I love him because he loved on me and he is willing to give his son as a sacrifice so that I can have life.
Profound. Oh. What is this? Oh, profound adoring. Profound adoring. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But
that has nothing to do with looking up to. When you adore something, you love them beyond anything. We're talking about an agape love that God has for us. We're trying to return that same type of love. And agape love is unconditional and everything.
Synonyms: adore, deify, glorify, venerate, worship. So, I mean, because if we look up the word "look up to," I mean, glorify, deify. That seems like the definition to me.
No, that means that you're following his doctrines and principles.
So then, what would be your definition of look up to then?
Look up to is that no matter who this person is, right? He could be the dumbest person in the world, and you're gonna look up to them for doing dumb things. You're gonna look up to them if they decide to throw a chicken in your mouth without cooking it. You're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I got to do that too."
All right. So you don't look up to the Lord. You just
I reverence him because he is sovereign. I adore him. I love him. Okay. I worship him. Okay. I glorify him. Okay. I magnify him.
So then,
okay.
Technically,
so the Lord. So whatever the Lord is, right? I feel that I am also because I can take some of his principles, his characters and traits and exemplify that in the kingdom so that other people could come to the Lord.
Seems like look up to me, but
however you want to define. If that's your term, I'll go with you. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go with you. So I'm looking up to the Lord.
You said that children should usually look up to their parents and stuff like that, right? Maybe not, because maybe if the parents are chain smokers and smoke weed and stuff like that, no matter what, I'm gonna look up to you. No, not necessarily. If we go by your definition,
it's a different dynamic. When it comes to parents and children, it's about obedience, values, morals, and principles.
Is obedience too, correct?
The obedience is not looking up to. Obedience is being able to do what I tell you to do because it's right.
Right. So that's why I said I wasn't the one that said I believe he said, and I think you said that the children look up to the parents.
I didn't say that.
Mama said. It was this guy. Mama said.
Okay.
He was saying that the children.
Now
look
he's
up
this
to
guy. That's your partner, man.
Parents.
Now he's this guy. Yo, why are you doing that today, man? Nah, I'm just messing with you.
I know.
You guys are hilarious.
That was my mistake. Yes. So Big Vern was saying that the children look up to the parents. So what I was saying was, yes, if like you said, mom, she
you don't want to read the comment?
She rocking out with.
Hold on, please read the comment.
I'm God's promise, said preach, sir.
Okay, thank you.
She
Thank
was
you, Mom.
referencing the one and only Big Al. What I'm saying is that yes, children, you would hope, as long as the parents are leading them in the proper direction, they would look up to them and hold them in, like you said, high stature, high regard.
You know, for a child, they're going to look up to their parents because that's the first two people that they meet.
No, of course,
the mother and the father.
And that's why I always tell people it's about leading by example. Because you're right. Because those are the first two people that they're looking like this. So whatever they do, that's why I try to tell people. If you cursing around your children, what you think they're gonna do? Why you gonna pop them in the mouth if you the one? You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question.
By example.
Have you ever heard of a song called "Cat in the Cradle" by Cat Stevens?
No, but I'll look it up. What
It's a
genre of
song.
music?
It's a song about a man who has a child, right? And he was a provider, always working, always doing everything. But every time the child came to him, he'd be like, "Son, not today, but tomorrow, because I got to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G." Right? Son, not today because I got to do this or that. I'm taking care of the family. I'm providing whatever. Right? And the long story short, the son grew up to be just like the father. And when the father was looking for time to spend with the son was giving him exactly what. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not
so
today, tomorrow.
you say in a sense that when he was younger, he was looking up to him, right? But the song ends that it occurs to me that I grew up to be just like my dad, right?
Right, absolutely.
So again, is that the intention of him when he sees all this? Because remember, as a child, I just want to spend time with my father, right? Now he's an adult, and he's like, oh, now I understand why my dad had to work so hard. Now I understand why he was a provider. Now I understand why this, that, and the third, right? So as he's looking up to him, he's not understanding why he doesn't have quality time for him when he wants it, but yet as an adult he understands that now.
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay,
you hit
so
that on
we talk about looking up to someone, right? I just don't like that word because
Agreed. I agree.
a lot of times we fall into a level of disappointment when we look up to someone and they don't fulfill our desires, right? Or meet the expectations that we have as young children.
True,
you know, and I'm coming from the same perspective because I had a love for my dad that was incredible when I was a kid, but he was never available to me, right? But my thing was, I'm not going to never be like that when it comes to me and my children, right? But did I still look up to my dad? Did I still love him? Did I still reverence him? I can't say I looked up to him. What I can say is I respected him, right? I was obedient to the things he asked me to do, you know? Okay? He guided me in certain areas of my life. But did I want to be that type of man? No.
Understood.
That's why I don't like that word look up.
I agree. There are certain words I don't. You are correct. You are correct because you hit the nail on the head because that's one thing I always tell people. Even when I'm at work, I'm like, try your best to balance out your time and your money as far as work because, as you stated, children they don't understand the concept of money as much, and you working to provide and stuff like that. All they know is daddy was here at this recital or this game, and he wasn't here for these moments and stuff like that, which is always tough to deal with because you're trying to provide and do so much, but that time that you're not giving them, they can always look back and say, well, he wasn't there. And like you said, of course, they won't get it until they get older, but now you can't really make up for that time that was missed. And go ahead.
Yeah. So let me ask you another question. So we go through all these different dynamics of how we should be as men, or how women should be towards men, or how women should be towards each other, or how children should be towards the father, the parents, whatever.
And how men should be towards women and their children.
Right. So again, if we concentrate on one thing, right, and I'm going to give it to you, that one thing is love. Because here's the thing. if you love your neighbor the way you love yourself, you will not sin against them. You will not treat them bad. You will not do a lot of different things. Yeah, we make mistakes and things happen, and then you be like, you know what? I love myself too much for that. I'm never going to do that again, right? So why can't we treat each other according to the way we love on ourselves? And if we did that, this whole thing that we go through as a culture, as a community, I'm not going to say it wouldn't exist, but there'll be a minimum level of it. Because once love comes into play, so many other things come into play, like forgiveness, right? Unity, right? Support, right? I mean, I could go on and name it, going down the line, what love can do when you truly love another human being. And when you love someone, it's not that you're tagging along behind them and doing what they tell you to do. It's, I'm doing this because I love you so much and I trust you. And I want us to have a peace and a unified relationship so that we can commune together in the same kingdom.
Absolutely. To answer your question, I think we don't we don't love others the way we love ourselves because I don't think we hold it in the same regard, as yourself as opposed to someone else. You don't, I guess, because you don't see that person in your image, or it's like, well, it's not affecting me, so I could care less. That's just my personal opinion.
It's hard for love to exist in this kind of culture.
True indeed. Well, if you have a good sense of it, and you know what love is, and you believe that the love that you were brought up under, and the love that you received, that I think that's another issue too. How other people receive love, and the love that they received when they grew up and stuff like that, that may be the love that they know how to give.
But that's not the type of love I'm talking about. I'm talking about a love that supersedes all understanding. Like a love that tells me that, yo, you my brother. If I see harm coming your way, I'm jumping in front of that harm so that you don't get damaged.
That's true, but not everybody.
The love that let's take Christ, right? Christ loved us so much that he was willing to sacrifice his own life for it, right? So that he could do away with the level of sin, so that we could be reconciled back to the Father, right?
Yeah,
that's what all that was about, so that we can have a life full of freedom. And we can have repentance so that when we do something, we can repent and come back into the fold. Now, if he hadn't made that sacrifice because he loved us so much, a lot of these elements we wouldn't have to be able to rely on. So what if we as a people treated each other the same way?
Oh, it would be a much better.
Oh my God!
It would be a much better society. Without
there'd be
a doubt.
no wars. There'd be no famine. There'd be no destitution. None of that.
Right. And these days, what's the word? For some people, the world would be too vanilla, and I think some people aren't cool with that. But personally, I think it would be a great society.
It existed like that for thousands of years up until a certain particular group of people,
Will you stop,
bro? It is. I don't know why.
Talk about it, Verge.
I don't know why you do that though, bro. That's crazy though, honestly. Because you act like what I'm saying is not rooted in fact. The reason why the planet is in the condition that it's in is because a particular group of white people occupy all positions of power and influence. Caucasians. Point blank, period. That don't mean that all of them, all white people are bad, but it means as a whole, as a group, it's because of them all the chaos that we have. Who's responsible for all these wars going on in Israel and all these global nuclear? It's Caucasians. Who makes all the stuff that we was talking about with immigration and all these laws with the gender stuff that they're pushing on kids? Who implemented all of this? It's all Caucasians. They are the ones in position of power that's orchestrating and that's driving the shit. They are. They're responsible. Who controls all these labs and bombs and all of that? They are. This disease X. I said World Economic Forum was talking about it. Who created that? Klaus Schwab. White dude. These are all Caucasian. So what I'm saying, when you say, "Oh, bro, here you go," you act like what I'm saying is not fact.
I'm not saying that's not when the world took its change. What I'm saying is, you know what I always go back to. Then it's on us to fight the good fight and try to have a different.
Yeah, we get all. I get that, but what I'm saying is, at one point in time, the planet wasn't like that, bro.
I'm not gonna play participant and then say, "Yo, you know what? I'm gonna just put the blame on these people."
It's not about putting the blame. I'm saying it's just talking about what it is.
If I went along, no, okay,
it's just about looking at history.
If I go along with it, then I'm.
What do you mean go along with it? What do you mean? What do you mean?
If I play my part in this system of how things are going, then
what do you mean play your part in the system of how things are going?
You said that this harmony and all of this stuff changed when these group of people.
I'm talking about globally, and all over the planet. Yeah, I'm not talking about.
How did they come into power?
They took it.
How? So wait a minute. So at one point we had the power and we allowed them to take the power?
No. I mean, all right, fine. We'll go down memory lane. Pretty much is that Caucasians, there's no natural resources that grows in Europe and things of that nature. They come from a cold climate. When you look at people who come out of cold climates, they're more violent because it's more of a survival. People that live in hot climates, they have everything that is plentiful. It grows. You have plant life and fruit and things of that nature and vegetables. You can survive. Coming out of a cold climate, you're more prone to violence. So what they did out of survival, they then won out throughout the world and pretty much enslaving, pillaging, taking natural resources and things of that nature, colonialism, imperialism, and that's how they built the empires that they have now.
So
that was the foundation of it.
They manipulated us, basically. They manipulated us, and we allowed ourselves to be manipulated.
No, it's not that we allowed ourselves to be manipulated. We had lived in harmony for thousands of years. Where we wasn't. I'm not saying that there might not have been wars or little domestic issues within certain African nations and stuff like that. But if you look through our history, we wasn't going around the planet and enslaving and pillaging and killing.
I get it.
We was not doing that. We was where we was chilling, doing living our lives in our culture. We wasn't going around causing mayhem all over the planet. This particular Caucasians were.
I get it.
So this is how where we're at right now is it's predicated on the violence, the mistreatment.
I get it.
Displacement, disenfranchisement.
We saw people that didn't look like us, and we just decided to continuously be harmonious, which is fine. But then they set us up, and in the long run, they milked us for everything.
It's not that they set us up. We initially, when we first came in contact, even what they did with the Native Americans. The Native Americans didn't know what they was coming across. They first came off as missionaries. They didn't just come in and kill. No, they came off as missionaries. They came with religion first. Remember, that's how they came off. They came off with religion first. Then once they learned the culture, learn who the men was, the warrior class, if they had a warrior class to defend and to protect, they learned the culture. Once they learned the culture, they then neutralized them.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So when you say
if they come into a specific place, they're going to be outnumbered. So of course they have to utilize a tactic that's going to be strategic and advantageous to them. What I'm saying is that if we allow that,
it's not. What do you mean allowing? That's an example. If you believe tricked slowly over time,
manipulated, like I said.
That's not allowing. That's you being manipulated. It's different. Allowing is where you could have you knew about it, could have fixed it, but you didn't. That's allowing something to happen.
Okay, so basically, but what I'm saying is, even them coming along as missionaries and stuff like that, even their base of attack. I'm sure. So that one day that they did that attack, I'm sure it had to be a long thought out process. We didn't see any type of changes throughout the behavior or anything. Like obviously we weren't there, so I'm just trying to get an understanding of, certain things lead up.
I'm pretty sure there was some people that fought, but. Try to defend, but that level of brutality. If you don't operate from that perspective, like psychologically, it's just different. Like I said again, people that come from a cold climate, psychologically, they're different from people that come from warm climates.
Mm-hmm. True indeed.
But like I said, the condition of the earth, the planet, is because of Caucasians,
I'm
bro.
big on love, and like
You know.
there are times like I be in my zone, like you know what I mean. That's why I got like you, your brother, Big Al. Like he just called me out. That's good. That's what we need. We need checking us. There are times I'm at work. You know what I mean. I try to give as much love. Sometimes I get fed up with certain things. I'm sure for OG. I'm sure for you. You know what I'm saying. But I believe my heart and my body is consumed with more love than hate, more good than evil. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like he said, I truly believe that universal love needs to be provided. I mean, needs to be spread out more. Just like you said, whether the whole world,
It's easier
everything,
to love. It's less energy. It's hard. It takes more
I
energy
agree.
to be mean.
I agree.
It's easier
I agree.
to love, but
But that once again, it goes back to what we always say. That's always a harder sell because it's wait a minute. You said it's easier to love.
it's easier to spread. It's hard. It's hard to do that in our society
I was about
now
to say
because
because
our
people
society
always
is
do easy street, so it seems like it's easier nowadays to hate, so that people just give off stuff that's easy. People don't really like to work hard and fight for things as much anymore.
Yeah,
But
the value, the people
Yeah.
don't value and appreciate.
right. But before we get out of here, I did want to let's talk about one of the most polarizing people of 2024. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah, man, Mr. Cat Williams, man. Did you see the?
I
interview?
saw it,
'Cause
man. I saw
the whole 2 hours.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Just
man. I
question,
enjoyed it.
OG, did you happen to see that? Did you happen to see the Cat Williams interview?
No, I saw a little bit of it.
Okay.
You know, just
Yeah.
just a snippet.
Got you. But yeah, man, it was just eye opening and powerful, and it was just great to hear more so of his life growing up and things like that because
I loved it. I loved the interview, but there was just one thing that I was like,
3,000 books.
yes,
Within a year.
Yeah,
So,
bro.
like I said, that
I
means
like
that you
to read,
You read
but
like
come on.
10 books a day. If
yeah,
you
that's
do the
like
math,
unless
if
unless
you're
the
doing
books were
math,
that
it's like,
thin.
excuse me, you're reading about 8. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
8 to
between
9
it's like
books.
it's like between 5 and 8 books a day.
365 days in a year. So you know, what I'm saying
3,000 books a year. When he said that, I was like, bruh.
I think he meant when he said between that time frame of 8 to 12.
Yeah,
I
no,
think that's
yeah.
what he really meant, that he did 3,000 books. But but like you said,
But
so starting, I mean, what he was talking about with gatekeepers, like like with he did the interview because he said that he wanted to refute some of the things that other comedians and other people went on there and talked about. But one of the major topics was he was talking about gatekeepers and how there was a time where he was offered something from Harvey Weinstein in front of people at his company or the
Harvey Weinstein offered fellatio to him right in front of his whole team at his company.
It's his whole team and I was like
Crazy.
But
I mean,
what
I'm
I'm
not,
saying
not
is,
surprised,
yeah,
though.
I was about to say why are these people surprised like that? I don't want to say that's normal, but just from a standpoint of how people operate, it's a favor for favor type of thing. So me there, I wasn't surprised. When you working in any field, it's listen, if you do this, I'm going to do this. You understand what I'm saying? Would you consider it to be wrong or something like that? Maybe Cat might be like, yo, what's going on here? But from those people, favor for a favor.
Yeah, but I mean, what Kat is saying is you can't, don't sacrifice principles.
Oh, of course
and
not.
morals.
Right? No,
So
absolutely.
this is where you got to be able to stand on your four
absolutely.
and be unwavering.
Absolutely. He also talked about the time with Martin. I think when Martin they were supposed to do a movie together.
Supposed to do Big Mama's house too.
Yeah, and he was like,
brought up the dress to him.
Yeah.
He was like, nah.
Yeah, and I know for a lot of people that's always a sketchy topic about wearing dresses and stuff like that as a black male in the industry of entertainment, Hollywood. What is your take on it? Because they say that like ages ago, I think 60s, maybe even before then, some people did it, you know, as comedy and just entertainment value. What is your take on it?
Yeah, man. It definitely seems like some type of ritual for black, especially in particular black comedians. And I've even seen non-black comedic actors still.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes out there.
Yeah. Wesley Snipes, Ving Rhames, I seen. He did it. So I'm not with it. You can still be funny. You can still have a good movie. You can still, you know, make the script and have it entertaining without putting it in there. You know, I don't. Yeah. And when you have a lot of comedians that speak, initially Kevin Hart said he would never do it.
Yeah.
He said he would never do it, and
maybe that price.
Of course, you know that's what it is. It's that the money, but
when people have certain things to take care of and stuff like that,
there's certain things willing to do. Yeah.
They won't.
But that's one of the reasons why, though, kind of Cat Williams is disliked because, you know, he's not funded or
yeah.
So, you know, he's independent. He's on his own. He pays. You know, he puts his money up.
Well, you know what that goes by. If you're not with us, you're against us. If you don't want to go through us, then you are a threat to us. So we have to do what we have to do in order to discredit you, because you're gonna come out here and start making claims and stuff like that. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I can't necessarily blame them because they're looking at it like this. Like, let's say, you know, you making your own money or whatever, and you doing your own thing, and you fighting a good fight, and you go in your come up, and I have a system, a well-oiled machine that's set up how it is or whatever. Cool, do your thing. I'm not here to block your blessing. I'm not here to, you know. But if you giving up information about the intricacies of my system and what's going on in there, well, now you're trying to threaten my establishment, or how they say the fraternal order of how things go. So they say that Puff had a lawsuit against Diageo. Yeah. You saw what happened after that.
Yeah,
I can't say that that's a full right.
The whole thing with T.D. Jakes too associated with him.
Right.
I was like, so.
You know, right? And Cat Williams Cat Williams spoke to some of those people.
Yeah,
you know
man.
What I mean? He spoke about how Chris Tucker was on like the list.
That list is crazy though.
Right.
There's a lot of names on that list.
Right. Yeah. Chris Tucker said that he didn't go to Epstein Island. No, I think he was like on one of his planes or something like that, or something. I don't know, private planes or whatever. But you know, man.
It gets weird when you up in that space, man. So
yeah,
it gets.
But that's why only a few is going to make it to a specific level, because it's a hermetic society. You're not going to listen. You think you're going to be afforded this for free? Nah. Even if you believe that your talent speaks for itself, you can believe that, but somebody else has to gauge it too.
This is why, man, we were so much better off, or we could build our own prior to integration. Like segregation. I know on surface it sounds bad, like it was bad, but in reality, economically, it was the best thing for black people, because everything that we needed, we had for ourselves.
But would there have been more situations in which they burned down, you know, certain towns and certain
no, because what happened was you had to integration was just so that they can so white people could keep an eye on the economic growth of black people, because they seen if they didn't, they seen where we was projected to go. Black people had own airlines, buses, cab companies prior to integration, doctors, like everything that we needed, we had for ourselves, because we wasn't accepted in white society.
Yeah.
And we was becoming very successful. We was becoming one of the main reasons behind the economic power base in America during the 40s and 50s.
Right.
We was rising up the ranks with middle class and becoming wealthy. So they said, no, we gotta integrate us, because if we leave this alone, in a couple of years, they could build whole economies that could wipe us out.
But don't you think that? Remember, I think what they did with Black Wall Street, They burnt down.
Yeah, because of that
cities.
particular area.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So don't you think that as time would have gone on, they sooner or later it would have been destined to happen? Because like you said, they probably just viewed us. They probably just viewed us as, listen, they can't do anything. But then when they saw what we were able to do, that's when they had to step in and say, wait a minute, hold on now. They're spending money a lot, but within their own communities, within their own environment, within their own race, we need their dollar.
Yeah.
Cause that's why I always try to tell you, even though it is racial, without a doubt, it's more economical, more financial. That's what they worry about the most.
But you got to remember though, capitalism comes out of racism. You don't have capitalism without racism.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
it's always always connected to exploitation and in some form, and and that always goes back to racism. Capitalism, it comes out of racism. You don't have capitalism without racism. Mm-hmm. So even though economically, how the whole economic structure is set up, it's set up on exploitation, and that all originates out of slavery.
Right.
So
absolutely.
It'll always you're gonna always have race connected with it. You're gonna have the elements of economics and how it's used and utilized. It's always parts of its tenets always originate out of racism.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man. But Cat Williams, I liked it. I saw nothing wrong with it. He was speaking facts. It's kind of hard for any one of these comedians to challenge the man. The man got 12 stand-up specials. Yeah. Ain't nobody coming close to that.
And he said this is either his 18th or 19th 100 World City tour. And I like this.
He writes it. He writes his jokes.
Tour. Yeah, I like this because also and he's bringing on a lot of people. Tommy Davidson, Mark Curry. He grabbed up Torrey Hart.
How generous he was, man, without helping people out.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't even, he doesn't even know that they need it.
Right.
Or he might know of a situation, but he won't say nothing to them. He'll just take this. Because Boozy talked about that when he had got out of prison. Cat gave him $15,000. He didn't expect that.
Yeah, Boosie. Yeah. He said that he was in the web and Cat was like, "Yo," he threw him I think a rubber band with like a towel over it or something like that, and he's like he threw
a lot of actors, a lot of comedians came out and said this. Deion Cole,
yep,
came out and said it. He's
Beanie Siegel said that when Cat was in Philly. Beanie Siegel said that when Cat was in Philly, he just saw that. He gave up at least $200,000 in cash to like certain people in Philly, like certain just
that's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah, so
that's what's up.
Man. Well, we're about to close out, man.
Yeah, your boy. What's going on with your boy, real quick?
This is what I want to do.
What's going on?
I want to give a shout out to Big Rich because his Clippers seem like they getting it together. They doing a good job. They're gelling. Because this guy was a big advocate of gelling and doing a good thing. Thank you, Mom. We appreciate that, man. And thank you for tuning in. Sometimes, I need these guys to check me and vice versa. It was a great time. Thank you very much. But I just want to give a shout out to Big Rich and his LA Clippers. They doing a good job. They getting it together. And stuff like that.
Embiid balling.
Embiid is balling. A lot of the NBA is looking pretty interesting
Lakers,
again. LeBron is still one of the greatest ever to play this game.
True, that is.
The Lakers are the first in-season tournament winners.
Means nothing.
Although I'm not a Lakers fan. I give credit where credit is due.
Bro, this dude is hilarious. He mentions the in-season tournament like that, man, when the Lakers probably won like 4 games since then.
I agree. And
what does that even matter?
There's no excuse for that.
But what does it even matter to even mention it?
That's the first.
But what does it matter? It holds no weight.
You can say that you're the first of something.
Oh, my God. It holds no weight. The first of what?
We're not going to say that it holds no weight.
It doesn't hold weight. What does it mean?
So from this year and moving forward, the in-season tournament is going to hold no weight?
No, yeah, it won't. It will not hold no weight.
No,
Nobody's
it
gonna
won't be
argue.
as
And you have-
it
you
won't
have
be as
pros that are saying that.
significant as the NBA Finals.
That's all they mean as significant. That's all that matters is the NBA Finals.
No, I still believe that the in-season tournament is a great
Means
thing
nothing.
because you could play for something early in the season.
And that means nothing because you can also not even make the playoffs. So that in-season
I
tournament
agree.
means nothing.
I agree.
That's a waste of time. If
I'm
you
gonna
really
go
want to
there.
do that,
No.
put that during the All-Star break. Instead of the All-Star game, put that in-season tournament.
We
during the
discussed
All-Star.
that, but
then do that.
no,
Some,
'cause
you
I
know
think
why
you
they wouldn't
should
do
play
this?
for
More
something
competition.
early.
They wouldn't do that.
No, they need something to bring up the competition
Yeah, they
in, the,
did-
in the All-Star
they did-
for the All-Star
yeah.
for the All-Star period.
NBA did that for their
sure.
boy. NBA
But
did that for their boy earlier, beginning of January.
I didn't want them to win. I wanted my Kings to win. I agree.
My people,
That's
next
all right.
time, man. Love
Yeah.
y'all. Hilarious. Man. Can't believe it, man.